So, we're going over Lilo and Stitch and how the ending was not nearly as bad as people are saying, and how I rated this film a 10 out of 10. So, we're going to dive right into it. So, starting off, Lilo and Stitch live action. Was it a good film? Amazing. Was it pretty faithful to the TV or to the cartoon? Yes. I mean, obviously, besides having a couple things differently, like no giant animated shark, the possible way the movie ended, and a couple little tidbits and whatnot, but it was very faithful to the show, to the movies, and to the cartoon. But we will talk about that ending right now because I know that's what you're all here for, because I know that's the big draw of why people are so upset right now. So, first off, throughout the entire film, Lilo, is alone, whatever, she's not a bad kid, she just does bad things. It's like Stitch. Stitch is not a bad person, but he just does bad things, or bad creature, whatever you want to call him. But the thing is this, throughout the entire film, they connect and they build up this little family. They're best friends. It's the best angel that heaven could bring her. It's pretty much what they say. Next up, obviously the interactions and the bond between Nani and Lilo as well. It's constantly that Nani is trying to give a life and a better life for Lilo constantly as she struggles getting job to job to job, as she's getting fired because of Stitch and Lilo and whatnot, and just from constant issues. She's also dealing with CPS and how, they essentially want to take away Lilo. They want whatever they can do is the best for Lilo. But throughout this entire film, we are brought up to different characters. Obviously they go on their little shenanigans where Stitch and Lilo and Nani are doing their thing, and it shows them butting heads. But if you remember at the beginning of the film, it kind of mentions this thing of the three stars. The three stars are the three sisters. Lilo, Nani, and essentially Stitch is the third sister in a way. Because at the very end of the film, he says, "Good night, sisters," and that's kind of what triggered it in my head. But the thing is this. People keep saying, well, at the end, when Nani left Lilo, she's like, "I'm going to leave you and I'm going to go study at SDSU." When people say, yeah, but in all reality, the best colleges and whatnot to learn about marine biology is Hawaii. I understand that. Once again, it's a Disney movie. It's going to build up. It's going to give us a sequel that it's going to have her come back more than likely for her sister and whatnot. But that's where Tutu comes in. You may know her also as, I believe this is Ned's Tio from No Way Home, or Ned's grandma from No Way Home. She, throughout the entire film, is listening to Nani, is helping out Nani, is helping out David, is helping out Lilo, is pretty much there. She teaches them, the rule of Ohana, how all these things about how their parents and this and that, and that hey, if you ever need help, I'm here. And it's those subtle little hints that we get throughout the entire film where we're like, oh, you need help? I got you. Oh, you need help? I got you. Oh, why don't you get a pet like I got a goat? She's the one who connects Lilo and Stitch, how she has her own goat pet. And throughout the entire film, you're building up that she is just as much a Ohana as Nani, Lilo, and Stitch are. So now you have Tutu, Lilo, Nani, Agent Bubbles eventually comes in, Stitch, David. There's all these different characters that are built up into Ohana, and they're a family. As you can tell at the very end of the film, Tutu is living with Bubbles, essentially. I don't know if they're dating or if he's just living there because he's CPS and whatnot, and it's part of their agreement. Pleakley's around, and then Nani decides to go to school. She goes off into her own California, and she comes back and forth through that teleporting machine that Stitch has, and I think she takes it with her. I can't remember if Stitch opens it up for her or if she takes it with her, but either way, they're communicating via laptop, and she pops in and shows up and says hi to Lilo and Stitch and them. And I don't understand how people miss this. Like, this was like wide in the open. This wasn't something that was hidden. This is very much a thing of, hey, my sister and Stitch can get a better opportunity living with Tutu than she could with me because I'm a struggling, person who's working jobs, who can't keep a job, who has to go to college to better myself, to better my sister, to give us the life we always wanted and whatnot. And it's crazy to me that nobody sees that. I mean, they constantly mention Ohana. It's pretty much saying that, it's thicker than just blood. And I understand that the actual Hawaiian natives were upset about certain things going on, but this is just to the general audience that sees this film and says, hey, this ending is not as good as the animated ending. Well, if it's not as good as the animated ending, just watch the animated film. You didn't have to watch the live action. That's just what I'm saying. And yes, I understand some people will be upset, and it goes into different people's native, like where they're at, like what's going on and whatnot. People are saying, oh, they're giving the indigenous girl up to CPS. They never gave her up to CPS. They literally found out there was a loophole where they could give her to the neighbor because of this transition, because they've been growing up together forever, because they have this life, because she's essentially part of their family. So they say, oh, there's this loophole. And the fact that I had to make this video to make clarification of this when even my 8-year-old daughter understands this is insane. And I just thought I would get this out there because I think it's a really important thing that needs to be brought up, that family is more than just blood. And it's the truth coming from somebody who has an adopted dad. It just is what it is. So yeah, watch the movie. It's a good movie. It's really fun, pretty sad, honestly. Maybe you cry twice, but that's for another video. Yeah, I definitely recommend it to everybody. Yes, I know Jamba not being the kooky experimental uncle, you know, in the sequels and whatnot, he's kind of like a bad guy now, but that doesn't mean he can't turn a new leaf in the next film. Just like how they forgot the big shark guy. I can't remember his name, but not everything can be done. It is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the film. If you saw it, let me know down below what your favorite part was and who your favorite character was. And as always, I'll catch y'all in the next one.